Johnny Rivers, West Guidry rocking and rolling through the 50s, 60s, and the 70s. The good stuff, the golden age of rock and roll. Boy, do we have a lot to do tonight. Tonight is a unique Sunday night. Joe Stampley is this weekend. He'll be talking about the Uniques as they toured around the Louisiana and southern areas, partying and rocking and rolling. And our friends at Paula Records have provided us with a stack of Unique's Golden Hits CDs, Unique Golden Hits cassettes. We'll be giving those away. Joe will be talking about the Uniques, all kind of party fun. Your requests, 436-LA99, 1-800-656-LA99, and star 99. Pretty Woman by request. West Guidry here, rocking and rolling through the 60s and the 70s. The good stuff, the good time party music. And like we said, tonight is a unique Sunday night. And our special guest is Joe Stampley. And we have Joe on the phone now from his home in Nashville, Tennessee. One of the most successful groups of the 60s in Louisiana had to be the Uniques, who hail from Spring Hill, Louisiana, up in North Louisiana, about spitting distance to the Arkansas line. And they packed them in consistently in their concerts and also in all their dances. Now, the lead vocalist, and he played keyboard, was Joe Stampley. Yeah, Joe, how old were you when all this started?
Well, Wes, let's see. When I recorded all these things and like How Lucky Can One Man Be and some of those early songs like that, I think I was around 22 or 23, somewhere along in there. I ought to make you a tape of a classic thing. It was my first record. I was 15 years old. This was in 1958. I had a record out on Imperial Records, which at the same time Ricky Nelson and Fats Domino were on Imperial Records out of Hollywood, California. And that was my first recording when I was 15 years old. And so I went from Imperial Records to Chess Records, and at the time I was on Chess Records, Chuck Berry was still on Chess Records, and I had one single out on Chess Records, and it was like 1964 that the first single was released on me on Paula Records, but that was with the group The Uniques, and it was put out as The Uniques, and it was in December of '64 that they released the first single ever on Paula. It was Paula Records 219. It was a song called Not Too Long Ago.
She used to hold me close at the picture show. That was when she really, really loved me so. Then it came along like the stormy sea. Not too long ago. Now she don't love me anymore.
Too long ago. Joe will be back the rest of the hour. He'll be here quite a few times tonight, telling us about some of the things the Uniques did in the 60s, and we're going to run up a phone bill. No problem! In fact, I'll take caller number 3 right now for your choice of the Unique CD or cassette from Paula Records. Caller number 3. Aaron Neville, very, very young Aaron Neville, and tell it like it is. And right before that, Jim Brennan won a Unique CD from our friends over at Paula Records. And if you call 1-800-446-2865 and talk to Lenny over at Paula Records, he'll send you a complete catalog of all their hits from the Louisiana Sounds. And that was off of the Super Soul, Super Blues CD, about a 4-volume set. So call Paula Records, 1-800-446-2865 up in Shreveport, Louisiana. By request is Jay and the Americans, featuring lead singer Jay Black, whose real name is actually not Jay, but he had to change it to Jay because they already had the name of the band and couldn't have Jay. It's a long story. It's not that interesting. Anyway, let's get you rocking and rolling through the 50s, 60s, and the 70s, reminding you the rock and roll artist of the evening, my group, yeah, the Beatles. When you hear a song by John, Paul, George, and Ringo, give me a call, and you'll be third caller. You'll get the dinner buffet for 2, Channel Orange Restaurant. Still to go, Tom A. Day's Goodyear Trivia. Got a good one for you tonight on that one. And, of course, anytime tonight you hear the word San Francisco or Frisco Bay in a song, give me a call, and you'll get a Frisco burger from the friends down at Hardee's, Debbie, and Martha, and picks you up for lunch on that one. And, of course, Joe Stampley's here tonight, or he's on the phone with us anyway, and he'll be talking about the Uniques again. We have some more Unique CDs, Unique cassettes to give away. Your request, 436-LA99, 1-800-656-LA99, or in your Yuppie mobile. If you have a mobile phone, try star 99. Come on and say it. The Grassroots is featuring lead singer Rob Grill, the last remaining member of the Grassroots. He's still on tour. He got a whole new backup band doing all the vocals. West Guidry rock and rolling through the 60s and the 70s. And coming up again this hour, we'll be talking to Joe Stampley about the Uniques and another one of the hits that they had. In fact, I'll take caller 3 right now at 436-LA99 for your choice of a Unique Golden Hit CD or a Unique Golden Hit cassette. Call 3, 436-LA99, 1-800-656-LA99 or star 99. West Guidry rock and rolling through the 60s and the 70s on a very unique Sunday night as we're giving away Unique Golden Hits on cassette, Unique Golden Hits on CD from our friends over at Paula Records, particularly Lenny Lewis. And if you would like one of their catalogs, just give him a call. Call Lenny at 1-800-446-2865. He'll send you a catalog free of charge. Got some great tunes in it. But right now, on our telephone from his home in Nashville, Tennessee, Joe Stampley. In the 60s, the Uniques did not confine their trips to Louisiana. In fact, they took it on the road all over the country. And that is the time that Joe Stampley wrote their next hit, Every Now and Then I Cry. Joe, where were you at when you wrote that song?
Me and the Uniques were in New York City. We were doing the Soupy Sales Easter show, and it's at the Paramount Theater in New York City about 1965, the end of 65 or 66. I can't remember what the year was. And wrote that song while I was up there in the old hotel in New York City, and we were with the Kinks and the Hollies and the Hullabaloos, and I think Little Richard was on the show, and Shirley Ellis had the name game at that time. It was just a bunch of people on that show, and all we would do is 3 times a day on this Soupy Sales Easter show was come out and sing Not Too Long Ago, and that was our gig, man, for a week up there at the Easter show in New York City. And I bored to death and came up with the idea for Every Now and Then I Cry.
My love for that girl was a love I thought was meant to be.
Randy by request. West Guidry rocking through the 60s and the 70s on a very unique weekend as we have a special guest of Joe Stampley, lead singer of the Uniques, and we're giving away Uniques Golden Hit CDs, Unique Golden Hit cassettes from the fine folks at Paula Records. And if you would like a catalog from Paula Records, no charge, just give them a call on their 1-800-446-2865 number. Talk to Lenny, and he will take care of you in short order. He definitely took care of us, so give him a call. And next week, another special guest, John Fred, one of Joe Stampley's cohorts in the Louisiana Boy Project. So John Fred will be here next week.
Hi, this is John Fred of John Fred and the Playboys, and now the Louisiana Boys, telling you that you're listening to Rock and Roll Gold with my friend West Guidry on LA99.
West Guidry rock and rolling through the 60s and the 70s in a very unique weekend. Our guest tonight, Joe Stampley of the Uniques, and we're giving away some golden hits from the Uniques on CD and cassette from our friends at Paula Records, Lenny Lewis. And, in fact, I'll take caller 3 at 436-LA99. Your chance or your choice, a CD or cassette, golden hits, the Uniques. Caller 3, 436-LA99, 1-800-656-LA99, or star 99. Oh, Mary Lou, Ricky Nelson, or Rick Nelson as he preferred to be called. Rock and rolling through the 60s and the 70s. West Guidry here with you until 10 o'clock and 2 p.m. on a unique weekend. We'll continue our conversation with Joe Stampley about the Uniques a little later on. And reminding you, still got the rock and roll artist of the evening. That is the Beatles. When you hear a Beatles song, our Tom A. Day's Goodyear trivia question, that's still to go. And we haven't heard yet any song with Frisco or San Francisco in the song. I've been listening, have you? If you find one, and there's one, couple of them coming up, when you hear a song with that in there, Caller 1 will get a Frisco burger from Hardee's. Great tasting stuff. Ooh, I ate too many of them, though. That's the only problem. Reminding you, next Sunday night, special guest will be John Fred of John Fred and the Playboy Band, telling us about the good old days when Judy in the Skies, Up and Down, Agnes English, Rockin' and Rollin'. It's all for you right here on LA99.
Love Ray.
Elvis Presley in the cold Kentucky rain. West Guidry rocking through the 60s, 70s, until 10 o'clock tonight, taking your request at 436 LA99, 1-800-656 LA99. And star 99 on your Mercury cellular phone. And we'll be talking to Joe Stampley very shortly. And all your requests coming up. The song. West Guidry here on a unique Sunday night as we continue our conversation with the Unique's lead singer, Joe Stampley. The song that more people relate to the Unique's has got to be All These Things. Joe, where did you find that song?
Art Neville had the original version of All These Things, and I think it was out in about 1962 or 63. And I would hear that song on WNOE in New Orleans, Louisiana, which was a 50,000-watt AM station. And I loved that song, and but I never did really get the right words, and I kind of made up my own words when I recorded that song with the Uniques. And as you know, I've recently recut the song for this project I did with John Fred and Gigi Shin, the Louisiana Boys project, and I finally did sing the right words on this song after all these years. That song has been real good to me, Wes. It was like a top 20 pop song for me back in the 60s, in the summer of 66 with the Uniques. And then in 76, after I had gone country, ABC Dot Records put the song out, and it went #1 in the country charts as a two-step version. And then now I've re-recorded it again with the Louisiana Boys. So that song has really been good to me. I was doing a show, it's a funny thing, I was doing a show down like in way south Louisiana years ago, and this Cajun couple, they came up to me, and the guy said, "Look, for me and Miss Boudreaux, would you please play The Touch of Your Lip?" And I said, "Hey, I don't have a song called The Touch of Your Lips." He said, "Well, I don't know what the correct title is, but it was All These Things." So a lot of people do relate to that song because the first line says The Touch of Your Lips.
The touch of your lips.
And the Uniques, in one of their greatest and biggest hits of all times, All These Things, which was, if you're think about it, if you're 27 years old right now, according to Joe Stampley, that song may be part of the reason you're here. Association's taking time for living. Hey, taking time for living sure is a lot better than the alternative. West Guidry rocking, rolling, doing stuff till 10 o'clock tonight on a very unique weekend. Right before Time for Living, we heard All These Things, one of the better belly-rubbing musics of all time. I don't know, that ranks up there with Crimson and Clover, I think. Oh, no! Here comes Bob. West Guidry rocking, rolling, through a 60s and 70s weekend, a very unique weekend, because we have our special guest, Joe Stampley, giving us a little background on the Uniques. And we're also teamed up with Paula Records up in Shreveport, Louisiana. And Lenny Lewis sent us some CDs and some cassettes of the Uniques' greatest hits, or their golden hits, which includes all the songs that Joe has been talking about tonight. And let's continue our interview with Joe Stampley. After the phenomenal success of All These Things, Joe Stampley and the Uniques released How Lucky Can One Man Be? Joe, what was you trying to accomplish, or what was the background on the song How Lucky Can One Man Be?
I was trying to write a song that would recapture the feel of all these things. And I came up with the idea for writing the song from my uncle. Every time we would leave to go out on trips, he had a service station there in Spring Hill, and so we had our little Cadillac car that we had that would haul all of us. It was a 4-door Cadillac, and we had a trailer behind it with the name, the Uniques on the trailer. And so every time we'd fill up with gas to leave to go on a trip, well, my Uncle J.B. would say, man, how lucky can one man be? You're going to get to go off and see all the pretty girls and have a good time, and here I am stuck at the service station. So I wrote down how lucky can one man be, and came up with the song.
When I kiss your lips,
Wes Guidry, rock and rolling. Just about time for me to get on out of here. I got about another 20 minutes. We got some more unique CDs, some more unique cassettes. We've got, what else we got? Other stuff. We got one more time. We're going to be talking to Joe Stampley. And at that time, Eric will come along. Eric, the woman's heartthrob all over the town. The suave, sophisticated Eric. Okay, I buttered him up enough. He's here on time. Wes Guidry here, and this is the interview as we close it out with Joe Stampley. After the Uniques, Joe changed his musical style and went into country music. And in fact, did some Grammy Award-winning performances with Mo Bandy. Joe, are you doing anything with Mo anymore?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Wes, I'm going to be doing a reunion week with Mo Bandy at the end of July in Branson, Missouri. He's got a little theater up there now. And so I'm contracted now to do like a week's work, I think, with Mo up there. And they're going to call it a Mo and Joe reunion. And I haven't worked with Mo in about 5 years, and so I'm looking forward to seeing Mo Buddy again up there.
Also, Joe, when you were with the Uniques, there were 5 of you up on stage, including your brother Bobby. Are you in touch with them still, and what are they doing now?
Yeah, Wes, my brother Bobby played bass in the group for 10 years, and I see him about 4 or 5 times a year. I do a lot of fishing with him, and we're real close. And he's in the real estate business now in Spring Hill, has Stampley Real Estate in Spring Hill, Louisiana. And Mike Love, the drummer, there's another famous Mike Love, the Beach Boys, one of the singers, I think, was named Mike Love, but this Mike Love I'm talking about played drums. He played with us for 10 years, and he's in the real estate business in Magnolia, Arkansas. And then Ray Mills was one of the guitar players. He has a painting contracting business in Sarepta, Louisiana. And then I'm still in the music business and still work the road, and have done the project with the Louisiana Boys, and I still go out and do shows by myself as Joe Stampley also. And then Bobby Sims was another guitar player we had, and Bobby Sims' last report was in Washington, D.C., selling computers or something like that. And then there was another guy, Jim Woodfield, who played guitar at one time. He works for Kansas City Southern out of Dallas, Texas, for Kansas City Southern Railroad. And another guy that worked with us for a short time was Ronnie Weiss, better known to a lot of people that knew him. They called him Mouse. He's in Tyler, Texas, and he's still in the music business, and he works with a group out of Tyler, Texas. And that was all the members that were ever with the Uniques.
I will take callers number 1, caller number 2, and caller number 3. I'll give each of you a golden hit cassette CD of the Uniques. That's caller 1, 2, 3. Wes Guidry, time for me to get out of here and bring on the suave and sophisticated Eric next. And remind you, next week, John Fred of John Fred and the Playboys will be our special guest. And again, we'll have some John Fred Greatest Hits CDs, John Fred Greatest Hits cassettes, Volume 1 and 2. So be sure to come back and join us next week. You take care, dudes.
Get me out of here!
Well, now it's time to say goodbye, to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back again to this locality. Y'all come back now here.
That's all, folks.